Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill. Got another video for today. This video is one that should have been out quite some time ago. This is going to be the typical should go through the video, show max CR, max stats in regards to a DPS perspective. Kind of see when you eventually get full gear, full artifacts, full augments. So, what kind of might in numbers you can be expecting stats wise. Now usually I do this very quickly and have it out in the first couple of days of the DLC. This DLC, for whatever reason, I just didn't feel like grinding it. I'm not sure if it was just because of the concerns I had with the difficulty, or the fact that both raids there's just a really annoying parts in them. So it's like if you're farming crown, you've got to deal with the pushback, and the three rooms are the exact same for the current. Then if you're farming throne, you got to deal with killing Column Wrath for 10 minutes just to get him down to the next phase, and then if you screw up, you got to start again from the beginning. You get 10 minutes down, so. Maybe it's just that I didn't feel like it or was lazy, but usually I'm a lot quicker with this. But I still wanted to release a video regardless to have you guys see all the stats. So we'll go through it here. So I'll show the stats, the base stats, then I'll show the stats that are buffed in the Atlantis content with the augments. So we'll kind of go over everything here. Ignore some of the mods because I haven't finalized my Celestial video yet. So I've been healing more often, so that's why I'm running Superstar Sacrifice. If any of these mods change, look for it in my Celestial Guide, so just kind of disregard the white mods at this time. So obviously the weapon, that's the OP head with the stats. In regards to that, I don't think I have another head in my army to show the stats versus-wise. I don't, but I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of videos or can inspect people with the OP head to see the stats difference, but it is quite a large jump. See the neck, back of being elite gear, chest, legs, rings, trinket, utility belt, face, shoulders, waist. That's the OP feet from the Teen Titans DLC. Ring, Bottle City Soda, and then the 3 DPS artifacts that run mainly. Solar Amplifier, Scrap the Soul Cloak, and Eye of the Gemini. We'll skip through to the augments first. Mighty 23 augment. In terms of these, the only really, if you're a DPS, you really just have to get the first level. It's not a huge jump, just to get that 3% might and swimming speed and content. I can't tell you that I've noticed the extra. Well, the extra loot drop I guess is handy because you get an extra choice. But that with 2 equipped, higher chance for rare gear, I've rarely ever seen that. That does not proc for me. In terms of the shark resistance. That attack is so easy to evade. You just roll out of the way that no one should be dying to it anyway. And even if you do get hit, even a 30% reduction with 2 of them stacked, it's not going to save you anyway. So it's kind of pointless. The CB shield is very handy by 40%. If you have one of these at 23, it's hard to die. And if you have 2 of these at 23, it's pretty much impossible to die. The Great CB slam, even in elite. So that one's. Once again, it's easy to avoid. You just block, but if you don't feel like blocking and just keep DPSing, whatever, then get 2 of these maxed out. But at the same time, it's not like a requirement. You can easily just block it out. And in terms of the max augments, it's rank 227. There's the stats there, 422 might for each. And I guess as well, I should go into the generator mods quickly so you can see those at undercurrent levels. So in terms of the mods, I still run, like technically if you want to maximize your damage, if you're still running the Tetrahedron Might Artifact, you'd want 4 health in these. I still prefer power, not only for healing and for controlling, usually what I am. I still prefer power mods instead of 4 health, but it just comes down to what you want. I find the power comes in more handy than maxing out the Tetra. Support, obviously M4 Resto right now for healer. That'll change when I switch to tank, and then the 4 might ones, 450 might for each of those each, and then might in the both affinities. Ignore these 2 because these are based for controller. The healing ones are kind of crap anyway. The tank ones are too, so I just kind of have those still in there from controlling because it really doesn't matter. There's no good Type C and Type D mods at all, unless you want like breakout one for DPS. That's about it, but really not necessary. So yeah, so we'll get to the stats here then. This is going to be, I should do the skill points back as well. This is going to be with 10 into precision, because since I'm not running the Tetra, I don't necessarily have to dump everything into health. I can run an extra prec just to get the percentage increase as well for weapon tap damage and blast adapter, stuff like that. So I've got criticals maxed out, might and power 225, 10 into prec, and 139 into health. If you're running the Tetra, then you'd want everything into health after that, with 443 skill points. Jumping the stats, so I've got 78,608 health, power is at 71,133, might is at 39,067, and my precision is 11,777. Now, one thing to note is if something changes in the future with Eye of the Gemini, and that's whatever nerfed or something affects it, or you can't run it, there's some cases where if you're running solo or something like that, if no one else is running it, then it's all situational. Most of the time as a DPS, you're going to want to run it. But say in the future, if you're watching this and something changes, you do get a lot higher might running the Dead King Scepter. So if I put that in the slots, now run the Dead King, I jump up to 80,557 health. I jump up to 39,585 might and 11,450 prec. So a big jump there, just because the Gemini gives 3% might. It doesn't, and 3% prec, but it doesn't have any base might, and it doesn't give any extra health. Where the Dead King Scepter, as you can see, it has 5% power, 3% health, and 3% might. So a big jump there, because you also do get the extra 2% power at 73,000. Not that it matters as much. Power is not really an issue these days, but still, your stats go up a lot higher with the Dead King versus the Gemini, just because of the base stats on them. But obviously that evens out in the end, because with Gemini you've got the Pollux Gaze the entire time. So in terms of the sodas we'll be using this DLC to buff, Nitro Soda Undercurrent is going to be 900 and 900 might, and then you've got your regular Compound Omega, which is 5% on top of that. So we'll buff here just so you guys can get a base number, and then we'll go into the Atlantis content so you guys can see what that'll be as well. Alright, so on Nitro and Omega, so if you're buffing for a raid, any raid besides Atlantis, you're going to be at 81,857 health, you'll be at 41,772 might, and 12,322 precision. And now, if you're in Atlantis content, that's going to be buffed 6% on top of that, or roughly 6% because of the... Okay, so in Atlantis content, you're looking at 43,550 base when you're buffed on Nitro and Omega. And then if you say you put the Dead King on instead of that, now you jump up to 44,110 might, almost 12,000 prec with those stats. So now if we just over here. Now if we look at those stats there, we're up to 45,000 might. We're on the escalating might buff.